welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I created these 90s curved luxury inspired Van Cleef nails. I love these so much. They remind me of the bracelet that I have. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Today I'm going to be doing an acrylic set. So I'm prepping my nails right now with Mia's Secret Dehydrator and 2 coats of Young Nails Protein Bond. I'm trying out these new curved nail tips that I recently purchased. They come really long, which is what I like, and I don't have to double tip them or anything. At first I wasn't really sure if I liked them that much, because when I first glued them on it was giving ego talons, and I'm kind of like weird about that when it comes to curved nails, but I kind of like filed them down a little bit. So I took away some of the bulk and I really like the shape afterwards. I think next time I might try to shape them up a little bit differently. They are like half cover tips, so I might cut them down a little bit so I could bring them up a little bit higher so they won't look so like hooked. I'm gonna try that next time, but I did like kind of file down the top a little bit so they weren't like so hooked looking. I really don't like that look on me, but we'll see how it goes. I will have them linked in my Amazon store anyways if you guys are interested in them. But today I'm going to be doing an ombre. I have this milky white color that I mix up and I'm kind of shearing it out over all the tips of the nails, and I'm working with the acrylic wetter so I can kind of like brush it out really fast and shear out the color. For the top color on the ombre, I'm going to use Mia's Secret Cover Nude Blush. This is my favorite acrylic to use for acrylic ombres. So I always start by applying my first bead halfway on the nail bed and blending it down into the tip. Then I go in with another small bead by the cuticle area and blend that down into the previous bead and into the tip. I work with the acrylic wetter so that they blend together better, and this bead was a little bit too wet, so I was just kind of like cleaning that up really quick. So I always do that, and then I kind of like look at the blend and then go back in and add like a small bead here and there if I need to further perfect the blend. But really it's pretty easy, especially when you're blending light colors, like 2 really light colors together like this. They blend effortlessly. You really don't have to do much, honestly. They just kind of like blend together on their own with just little work. When I'm doing ombres, I also make sure not to use too much acrylic because I do have to encapsulate these later on, and to avoid the nails like bulking up a lot, I make sure not to use too much acrylic. So be mindful of how much acrylic you're using and make sure you're using a good brand so you don't have to keep like adding beads to build up the color, because that ends up making the nails way thicker. Before I encapsulate the nails, I'm going to go in with one of these rubber base gels from Glam. They sent me over 5 colors. These rubber base gels are meant to strengthen your nails, but these ones are really pretty. They're like all glittery shades. So this one is a silver one, and this is called Crystal Vow. Then we have a bronzy gold one, and this one is called Diamond Bride. We also have another one that's white with little silver reflex in it called Pearl Promise, another silver one, and this one is called Wedding Veil. And then the last one is a very light champagne color called Champagne Toast. I thought applying this to my nails would add a nice little sparkle to the ombre, so I was kind of just like looking to see which one would go best. That one was a little bit too silver, so I decided to go with Pearl Promise, the white shimmery one with the really tiny silver reflex in it. This one is really pretty and it gave just the right amount of sparkle for the ombre. So I'm applying this very sheer over all of the nails from the top down to make it look like a shimmery ombre. To encapsulate the nails, I'm going to use Mia Secret clear acrylic. I'm going to do my 2-bead method and then just look at the nails and see if I need to add in any little bead here or there, if I have to like fill in any dips on the nail or whatever. So the first bead, I use that to build up the free edge of the nail, and then the next bead I apply that to the nail bed area to build my apex. I always apply the apex a little higher than the free edge when I'm doing curved nails, so that you can see the curve and it doesn't like look too hooked. That's a way to kind of like give a more flattering like curve. The free edge of the nail on these tips kind of like hooks like a curve, so if you build your apex to be a little higher than that, it will give you just like a nice, more feminine curve in my opinion. And before I started encapsulating the nails, I did cleanse the tacky layer of gel off of my nails because it makes it easier to apply the acrylic. And I do work with each bead until it's pretty much dry, so I kind of like pat the sides and the tip of the nail to help keep the shape so that I have like less filing to do later on. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the filing. I'm gonna use my medium grit ceramic drill bit since I'm doing acrylic and I want to take down the product a little faster. So I'm using my drill on 18,000 RPMs. My drill and the dust collector that I use are linked in the description box. I do have some drill bit recommendations linked in my Amazon store. The link is in the description box as well. But when I start filing, I always start by debulking my nails with the nail drill first so that I don't have as much filing to do with the hand file. So I always start around the cuticle to seal around the cuticle, and then I smooth side to side down the nail. To file the curved nails, I file the free edge a little bit more to kind of like reduce the hook appearance of the curve, because like I mentioned earlier, I don't really like them to look too hooked. And then I always leave the apex just a little bit higher to give like that gradual look of a curve rather than like so harsh. On me, I don't think that looks good.
Ringy. Ringy.
For this set, I'm going to be doing a square shape, so I'm going to use my 180 grit hand file to shape them up. I hold my file straight along the sides and file along the sides of the nail to get the square shape. You want to make sure you're holding the file straight so you get the square shape and not a coffin shape. I make sure to kind of alternate sides to avoid filing in one side more than the other. To file the free edge, I hold my file at an angle and then file straight across the free edge to get a nice straight free edge. I also kind of do the same thing and just file up and down, whichever I kind of feel like. And then when I'm done, I buff over the surface of the nails to get out any scratches and smooth out the rough edges. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and get into the design. This design is gonna be done with all bling, so I'm gonna be using some rhinestone gel to apply the clear rhinestones first to kind of give the shape of the clover, and then do the rest of the work later on. So for the center of the clover, I use a small little rhinestone, and then I apply 2 bigger rhinestones to the top and bottom of that, and then 1 on each side to give that shape of a clover. I am going to be flash curing just so that the stones don't slide around, but as you can see, doing that gives like the outline of a little clover. I do wish that I put a gold caviar bead for the center of this, because then it would have really looked exactly like the bracelet, but I wasn't really thinking. But I do like this style of clover as well. It's a very tedious process to do these little clovers with all the caviar beads and everything. It takes up a lot of time, so I don't recommend doing like a bunch on your nails unless you plan on sitting there for like hours, because this took me a while with just the amount that I did. To do the little half clovers at the bottom, I place 1 little one in the center, 1 on the top and the bottom, and then 1 coming out of the side of the little rhinestone. That's how you can do the ones that are kind of like half of a clover.
Creamy.
Now that the clovers are done, I'm going to go ahead and outline them with Caviar Beads. So I applied a little bit of rhinestone gel on my palette, and I'm using a small dotting tool to kind of apply it around the clover. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply the really small Caviar Beads all around the clovers. This is the part that really takes the longest, trying to get these on. I'm going to speed this up so we're not like sitting here all day watching me mess around with them. But yeah, this part takes a while because you have to like line the entire clover into the shape of the actual clover, not just like a big blob of beads around it. So it does take a while, but the end result is really, really cute. I really love the way they came out. So you kind of have to like push in the corners so that it gives like the shape of the clover like you made with the rhinestones. But yeah, they really remind me of Van Cleef. I love the way these look. I've been wanting to do these for a while. I really love those clover bracelets too. I wear them all the time. I hope one day that I can actually get like a Van Cleef one. That would be so nice. But yeah, until then, I'm gonna be wearing it on my nails, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of like continue to do this. I am gonna flash cure so that the beads don't slide all around.
Creamy. 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 Ringy.
Finish up, I'm gonna go ahead and top coat all of the nails with some gel top coat. I am top coating the Caviar Beads because sometimes after washing your hands the color does tend to fade, so to seal in the color and everything, I'm gonna top coat them, and I will be top coating underneath the nails since this type of ombre is kind of glassy. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys like this set. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave and hit the bell so you get notified when I upload videos, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Love you guys.